There are 6 sacred Saturdays in the calendar year. Those Saturdays are the 6 days that BYU plays home games. My name is John Hunt. I have been a BYU fan my entire life. I was born on November 1st, 1974. 8 days later, my parents took me to my very first BYU football game. It was against Arizona State. I remember that day very vividly. No, not really. But BYU did win that game, and my parents have been taking me to BYU football games ever since. It's been ingrained in my blood, and it is something that will always be a part of me. My general handle on most social medias is BYU for life.
What is your first memory of or at a BYU football game?
Oh man. I would have to say when I was very young, my dad had season tickets. In fact, in 1982, when the stadium was expanded to the end zones, my dad bought season tickets in the middle of the south end zone. And we've had those same seats ever since, up until the last few years. But I remember going with my dad to one game. I don't remember who we played, but just being in the stadium and being there with my dad was so cool. And all the people cheering and watching the plays down there, it was just like electric. I loved it. It was so much fun and such a great memory to be there with my dad and watching BYU football and seeing the players catching the ball out of the backfield and scoring touchdowns and everyone cheering. It was so much fun. I loved it. I got addicted quickly.
What is BYU game day like?
Oh, BYU game day is so much fun. It's an experience. It's a full day experience. Like, we have to leave 4, 5, 6 hours before game time. We go down, we find some place to eat, whether that's at Golden Corral or whether it's at Two Jack's Pizza, or whether we get some food in the stadiums or J-Dog's hot dogs or barbecue. There's so many great places to eat. And then the goal is to get over to the stadium. When I was young, they used to have pre-game stuff out in the parking lot that they would set up 2 hours beforehand, and we would throw the football and try to win t-shirts. I probably had like 50 different BYU t-shirts, classic t-shirts. They were awesome. Now it's more, they have the Cougar Club, the Cougar Canyon, where you can go in. They've got lots of games set up for kids. They give free stuff away to Cougar Club members. And I take all my kids in there. They get lots of fun stuff. We have lots of fun. Get into the stadium. Try to get into the stadium about an hour before game time so that we can just feel the ambiance of that stadium. 65,000 people in there just going crazy. The Rock, the student section that they have now, is amazing. They've modified that. I remember when I was a student there, and student seats were dispersed throughout the stadium, and each game you sat somewhere else, somewhere different. But now and it wasn't called the Rock back then, the Roar of Cougar. They didn't really have a name for the student section, but they did name it finally. And then, you've always got to go in and get a Cougar tail. The donuts, they're, 16 inches long, maple. Sometimes they do blue icing on top. But the game, watching the players come out of the tunnel, watching them practice even beforehand, and pointing out different players to my kids or to the people around us and saying, okay, this kid's a junior and he's doing really well and he's going to get play time today, and pointing out who might be injured or what the kicker's going to do. It's so much fun. And then when the games get started, we're cheering on the Cougars to win constantly. And a lot of opposing fans get tired of the BYU Cougar fight song, but we sing it probably 5 times before kickoff, and then every single touchdown, at the end of the half, at the end of the game. we're always singing the Cougar Fight song. We've got it posted in our or painted on our wall downstairs in our family room, so the kids can see it. They all know the words by heart. It's so much fun. And then, you always got the Cougarettes who come out and dance, and they're generally national champions. Cosmo, the Cougar, gets out there. He's the mascot. He dances with them. He's pretty well known. We get to the third quarter, and this is where I would say it has modified and become a lot better fan experience for BYU fans. Because in the past, it would just be, here's the quarter has ended, and we just sit around and wait for the next quarter to begin. But between the third and fourth quarters, Cosmo gets out there and starts beating a drum, and all the fans are clapping and cheering, and then you get fire swinging guys out there spinning fire, and guys running around with the flags that are shooting fireworks, and you got fireworks going off, and you've got the drones making BYU symbols and images in the sky, and you've got the lights flashing blue and white at night, and it's just electric. It's amazing. The student section is going crazy, and it's always fun when it gets to the end of the game and BYU has won.
And overall, what does BYU football mean to you?
It's just so many memories, so much fun. I love it. It's part of my identity. My coworkers know that most of the shirts that I wear to work have BYU symbols, logos on them somewhere. My kids know that's my identity. Our Christmas tree is decorated as BYU. It's just so much fun, but the memories that I get to have with my kids that I've had with them throughout my life, and with my dad, going to football games for the last 45 years has just been awesome. It's been great. I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Georgia,